So, cider number 2, SideBurns. It's a cracking label, look at that. SideBurns, medium, rich, fruity and distinctive cider. So I'm expecting, obviously, a sweeter cider towards the medium end of things than the no-brainer. And because of that, what I've gone for is actually something that's got a really good balance of salt and sweet itself. I've gone for a 24-month aged Gouda there. It's that real kind of bright orange colour that they add. It's a dye. It's a really traditional Dutch cheese, but at this age it starts to develop really interesting kind of toffee, caramel, nutty notes, and you've then got a little bit of that saltiness that you get in all cheese coming through as well. So I'm hoping you've got that lovely complementary match going on with the 2 lots of sweet, but the saltiness I hope is kind of boosted and therefore gives a structure to the whole flavour. So listen, let's try the cider. Yeah, so that's already much kind of rounder on the nose. You've got that kind of caramel note coming through in this medium cider. So it's got a sparkle to it. It's a lot sweeter. It's still not, I would say, it's not a sweet cider. There's still enough kind of astringency, acidity to the cider as well, which balances it. I really like this cider. I think it's great. I would say as well, it would match really well across the board with a lot of cheeses, because cheese, a lot of salt in cheese. Cheese love a bit of sweetness to contrast against. That's why we often have dessert wines with cheese. Why we often have a white wine with cheese, because you've got that little fruity sweetness coming through. Right, let's try it with the cheese. So a little bit of Gouda or Gouda, I believe. Yeah, it's great. It's great cheese. This. Don't be fooled. Gouda is not a kind of a boring, rubbery, pasty cheese. At this age profile, it's really fantastic. It's got an amazing crumble. So compared to the yard that we had in the last video, it's really brittle. It's almost like toffee. Wow. So you really get hit with those big caramel notes that are coming from both the cider and the cheese. So that's one, I would say, gives you a really nice idea of how having a lot of sweetness can really show off the saltiness as well. And it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but when you have that much sweetness, the salt has to kind of step up, and you get that from the cheese and you need it. If you don't have the saltiness in the cheese and you have the medium cider and you have the quite sweet kind of where the lactose is starting to caramelise cheese, you end up with too much sweetness. If you don't have that saltiness, if you don't have that acidity, you end up with a really unstructured, flabby mouthful. But actually, yeah, that works really well. I like that a lot. That's great. I'm gonna finish that. Cheers.